Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, August 25th, 2023. Before I click through all the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already and share the content with friends and colleagues. Become a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like the Tesla report, daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near term investor. Always looking for 20% swings on those underlying stock picks. And we offer a 5-day free trial up front. So, you can sign up for wickedstocks.com, check everything out for the better part of a week. And if you don't like what you see, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So let's jump to the charts. I'll start with the big picture, work my way into the day itself. We came off of what was a 2 to 3 month objective at the 302.97 channel top. That was a 2 to 3 month objective when we settled several months ago above this long-term 173.86 descending channel top. Our first big picture objective was this channel top, now at 302.97. It did hold. Yes, there was a week about 6 weeks ago where we spiked through it considerably, only to come tumbling back later in the week. Holding below 302.97, as I've been saying since we've been testing it, does allow the market to fall back to channel support within a month or two of testing the 302.97 channel top. The channel support was tested last week, and we came off of it nicely, but the market is yet to show a meaningful buy signal as we move into next week and into early September trade. Our first buy signal that would be of meaning into next week would be a settlement today above 240.65, this 1 month, roughly 5-week descending channel top. We could fill this wedge out between 217.32, the channel bottom on the daily chart, and 240.65, that descending channel top. We could fill this out potentially through next week. But one of them is going to give way over the next week or so, and the likelihood is that it will be above 240.65, just because this is more of a near-term resistance, whereas 217.32 is long-term support. The longer-term levels generally win out. Not always, of course, but generally, I can say. Now, what does generally mean? I'm not going to go there. I don't have numbers in front of me, but 240.65, if we were to close above it today, and I'll get to that in a moment, sets up a buy signal that should, by the end of next week, yield the lower 260s, or what we find now in the lower 260s, this long-term 1/3 speed line that we settled below a couple of weeks ago that did set up a 2 to 3 week sell signal down to 217.32. That's completed itself, and the 263.66 descending 2/3 speed line that is based in part on last week's low. This area able to contain buying well into September, and once tested, we could fall back to 217.32 within 2 to 3 weeks. That's why I give the 302.97. I don't know if I said that. I don't think I said that today, but I have been saying that holding above the channel bottom now at 215.41 on the weekly chart will keep 302.97 in reach now over the next 2 to 3 months to the upside. Markets fall faster than they rise, and at what took 1 to 2 months to reach 215.41 can certainly take 2 to 3 months to claw back to 302.97. So I take you back to this chart. If over the coming week or two we were to settle above 263.66, good low through the month of September, the following 2 to 3, 3 to 5 weeks, then likely to reach back to that 302.97 long-term channel top. And as I've been saying, as we tested 217.32 last week, there's a few things you could do. You could reach for 260 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. This is really kind of a 2 to 3 week rally. I think I even said 2 months at one point, but we've had a nice spike in volatility this week. So it's really more like over the next month. And the 302, 305, 310 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least, I would go 6 months out on that. Once again, it's only a 2 to 3 month time frame, but you don't want to buy a 305 out of the money call that expires in 3 months only to see it vanish to nothing as you meet your well-earned objective. And it wouldn't be well-earned because you wouldn't earn anything, of course. So let's talk the day itself. I've already told you about this 1 month descending channel top at 240.65 that, if tested, can contain buying through next week. And once tested, we can fall back to 217.32 within 3 to 5 days, perhaps. So that is that. And on the way down today, I did bump this up to a session containment level. It's been intraday for the better part of a week. It was session containment a couple of weeks ago because not so much because I am convinced that it will hold another daily low, but that the daily framework does allow 240.65 above 227.12. So on the way up, I've got 236.86, nothing more than the high settlement price that was put out on Wednesday following last Friday's move low. We can hesitate there, top out on an intraday basis. If we push through 36.86, 240.65 is likely. And I will say that if we open and hold above 227.12, you should allow 240.65 on an intraday basis where we can top out through next week. So decent day trade level at 227.12. and a decent day trade level at 240.65, a decent 3 to 5 day swing trade level at 240.65, because it's a decent place to go short, then anticipating 217.32 within 3 to 5 days. And if we were to close above 240.65, 3 to 5 day swing trade shifts bullish going long into next week. The 2 to 3 week time frame has been bullish anyway, as you're well aware, above 217.32, because once we tested it, I mentioned how this area presently in the low 260s is considered, I think I said 3 to 5 weeks at that time, and now I'm back more to like 2 to 3 weeks. And in fact, we're a full week into having tested 217.32, and if we close today above 240.65, we will have reached the low 260s inside of 2 weeks, the following 3 to 5 days. For you short-term options traders, if we test 240.65, you could reach for 217, 218 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a week. And inversely, if we close above 240.65, you may reach for 262 roughly out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a week. That is the short-term options play. Let's go back to the day itself, 217.12. 217.12. If we break 217.12 today, I do have a little bit of support at 223.23, just so you know. Intraday support, not far below 217.12. 223.12 is nothing more than a 5/8 downside Fibonacci retracement over the last week. Last Friday's low against Wednesday's high. 223.23, we can bottom out there intraday, rally back to 217.12. But really breaking, especially opening today below 227.12, that would be a gap lower open. I think you should definitely get out of the way for the possibility of testing, I should say retesting, the 217.32 long-term channel bottom on the daily chart, which is, of course, 215.41 on the weekly chart, where we can bottom out through next week, through September, and even, yes, through the balance of the year, as we are now in reach of 302.97 again over the next 2 to 3 months, holding above 215.41. Now, if we do close today below 215.41, that would be a sell signal if we also close below it by a 1% margin. So if this thing just sort of collapses today, and in the final moments of the day, today, last day of the week, weekly settlement, we're trading at or below 213.25, and you're long those 262 out of the money calls, or even the 305 out of the money calls, I would say this is your opportunity to take a smaller loss rather than a bigger one, because I do then see this 179.55, and I have that channel bottom, or channel top rather, at 173.86. That whole region becomes our next 3 to 5 week downside objective. By the end of September, we should break into the 170s. This is of equal significance to 215.41. And so bullish into the fourth quarter above 215.41, bearish through the rest of the year below 179.55. That's the way I'm framing it. And inside of that, we would have a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week sell signal if we close today at 213.25 135 or lower. All right. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think there's really anything else to say. I will leave you with this image as we look into September trade. And you have a great weekend. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com.